Welcome to another edition of Mirror TV here on AltoonaMirror.com. I'm Neil Rudel, and we have a Steeler Extra today, joined by the region's foremost authorities on the Steelers and the Steeler draft. To my left, Buck Frank. To my right, Ray Eckenrode. Ray's our general manager here at the Mirror and blogger extraordinaire. Buck is our sports editor and Steeler beat man. We can't talk Steelers, unfortunately, without opening up a little bit about Ben Roethlisberger, and I know this is a fluid situation and can change in the next few days, but what would you expect is going to happen?
My original expectation was 2 games. I'm not going to up that to probably 4 games. Just based on the whirlwind that surrounded the release of the actual 500-some pages of that included details that made Ben look bad, made the comps look bad, and made the young lady look bad. But what we've seen is the tabloid media, the gossip media effect that, you know, what we're hearing and what you would expect to hear, the stuff that involves the $100 million NFL quarterback. Two games seems like a slap in the wrist. I think it's going to be 4 games.
Yeah, I agree with Rick. It's kind of interesting that they're going to announce the NFL schedule tomorrow, and then I guess the decision's going to be coming out on Wednesday, maybe on Ben. So it'll be interesting to see who those first 4 games are, to see, you know, what games he's going to miss.
Yeah. I'm going to take a flyer and say 3 games, only because he has not been charged, even though there's guys that have been charged with things that, some of the things that are alleged against Ben, you know, are obviously not too flattering. So hopefully they'll be able to move on. We're here to talk draft. How does the quarterback situation affect what you guys think, you know, will be some of their focus?
I don't think it's going to affect it as much as some people think. I think they have to go into that thinking that Ben's going to, you know, turn his life around and be the guy that he's been. I just can't see them taking a quarterback in the first few rounds. They may take one later on as insurance, but really, I don't think they can afford to take one in the first couple rounds.
It's absolutely, they have for a team that won the Super Bowl 15 months ago, they have so many needs. They cannot afford to take. I'd be shocked if they took a quarterback anywhere before the 6th round. I have them not selecting quarterback, and of course bringing in a free agent. They're going to. I mean, they have to. You know, the question is going to be, as a franchise, can they go forward with Roethlisberger? Will the fans allow it? Will it go? I mean, that's the question. But I don't think there's any doubt they're going ahead this year with their quarterback situation as is.
And I guess if they were going to take, for example, there was a lot of speculation that Jimmy Clausen could possibly still be there if Buffalo doesn't take him with what, like 9?
Right.
You know, if the Steelers took him, I just wonder if it would just destroy the whole situation. You're better off just trading Roethlisberger if that's
right. And basically, I'm assuming they have made the decision in the short term. They're not going to try to change to trade him, and if that's the case, they're not going to pick a quarterback high.
Okay, we are going to eventually culminate with Ray and Buck's first couple rounds picks. We're going to lead up to that little drama. Where do you see the focus? What positions?
Offensive line, defensive back. I think those are the positions they need to address the most. I've been saying the last several years they need to take a cornerback in the first round. They haven't. They've been trying to get by with Ike Taylor and now William Gay. But they do have this, the wild card here is Keenan Lewis, who they took last year, who was injured a lot of last year. If he can step up, they may not need to take a corner in the first round. But they need someone, they need a stud on that offensive line. Since Faneca's been gone, they really don't have that one great offensive lineman.
I think they have a lot of needs. An excellent defense again, old, potentially injured. Where they really have the glaring needs is that cornerback on defense, offensive line. They need depth on the defensive line. They need a running back. You cannot get by in the NFL with basically 2 proven backs. What they have right now, you actually need 4 backs in the NFL right now. You need rotating running backs. You need a 3rd down back. You need a short yardage back. They've got 2 of those in Mewelde Moore and Rashard Mendenhall. So they're going to take a running back somewhere. I don't think they're going to do that in the first round.
Okay, we're leading up. We're beating the drums, and they don't draft bodyguards for Roethlisberger. Cologne was mentioned. I don't know how well he's done in that capacity. He's protected Roethlisberger better on the field.
I mean, offensive line is interesting. We sit here every year and say they need offensive linemen, but they've gone out, they've re-signed all the players and fired the coach. So I think that tells you something about what they think the issue might be.
And so that would tell you that they're not going to draft an offensive lineman, which number one.
That would.
I don't want to blow your fake.
But I may say the opposite of that.
Okay, why don't we go with Buck? You want to bat first?
These have been audited by PricewaterhouseCoopers.
Okay, these are the Steelers' first 2 picks. All right, I'm going to go with, you got that there?
We're challenging our videographer, the man behind the glass, J.D. Cabbage.
Sure.
Yeah, I think we need more of a bold type, or are you okay with it? Okay. Buck, you want to announce that?
For the first round, I'm going with Marquise Pouncey, the center from Florida. He could step in and play right guard right away and replace Essex and move him to left tackle, the backup man. And then you have Justin Hartwig at center for a year or two, and he can move into that position. The Steelers are saying, Art Rooney was saying, they want to get back to pounding the football. You know, all the years they've had the great running teams, they've had that great center in the middle. And I think Pouncey, he's also a character guy. That first pick this year, they really need to take a guy who's high on character because they're going to parade him around for a while. That's why I don't think they're going to take Des Bryant. And then I think in the second round they go after Kareem Jackson, if he's still available, a cornerback, a physical cornerback, someone that, you know, could give William Gay and Keenan Lewis a run for a starting job.
Where's he from?
He's from Alabama.
Okay. So Buck's going in the SEC, pounding the football with Pouncey. You're saying Pouncey deserves all this credit for Tebow running up the middle.
It could be, yeah.
The Steelers definitely need a cornerback, and the good news is this is the right year to need a cornerback. There are 4 guys that could go in the first round, 8 guys that they're saying could go as high as the second round. If they get Kareem Jackson in the second round, that's a huge, that would be a great draft right there, and I hope it happens. I think they need a cornerback, so of course I don't have them selecting one anywhere along the way. I have the Steelers making a trade with the San Diego Chargers. Basically, the Steelers dropping down 10 in the first round in order to move up 12 in the second round. At 28, I have the Steelers taking Mike Iupati, guard from Idaho, brawler, most physical lineman, interior lineman in the draft. And number 40, Hines Ward's successor, the 40th pick in the draft, Golden Tate, wide receiver, Notre Dame. Thinking the depth is such in this draft that they could take a cornerback in the third round. As Buck says, the wild card is they have 2 rookie cornerbacks in Joe Burnett and Keenan Lewis, who we as fans, no one knows how good they are other than the Steelers coaching staff. But I have a trade with the Chargers, Iupati and Tate. Although I'd love that draft as well.
All right, that was fun. We'll be back to, of course, we'll have full coverage in the Mirror. And you know, hey, real quick, the fact that it's a primetime event now, moving to Thursday night, then Friday night, right? Thursday, Friday night, Saturday. Yeah.
Well, one thing it does is it helps the St. Louis Rams dramatically, who have the 33rd pick, which will be the first pick of day 2. Instead of now 10 minutes to talk about a trade, they're literally going to have 10 hours.
Right.
You know, at the end of that day 1, everyone's going to be able to look at who's left, and everybody's going to have one guy left that, boy, I never thought he'd be there. And the Rams are literally going to be able to ransom that 33rd pick with 10 hours to negotiate on it.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how it's going to alter Scott Franco's draft board. It's going to be a 3-day event now or what?
Well, and we just had an edition of Mirror Moms come out, so we probably have a month to wait on it for Scotty. Yeah. Okay, for Ray Eckenrode and Buck Frank, thanks for joining us here on Mirror TV, and we'll be back real soon.